Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new here, how's it going? My name's Luke. If you're coming back, it's been a minute. Honestly, at this point, I can't even remember the last time I uploaded a video. I'm checking right now. Wow, it's been 6 months ago. The last movie I reviewed on this channel was The Nun 2. Oh my goodness. So apologies that it's been a 6-month delay, but as you can definitely tell from the background, some things have changed. So this video is really just to kind of catch up on what's been going on, and then definitely want to talk about a recent trip that I took to South by Southwest. So, you know, this channel is really just a hobby of mine, something that I enjoy doing just to get the break away from my day-to-day world. And, you know, things have just been busy. I think, 6 months ago when I kind of more or less slowed down, definitely getting into the holiday seasons, spending a lot of time with family, work's picking up, and I'm just a perfectionist as well. But I am now in my own studio space. I've been here a little bit now, so hopefully we'll be getting this space fixed up soon. You can definitely see I've got a bunch of posters behind me. So eventually I'm going to fix all this up and hopefully get something really cool, like a cool setup that I can use as a backdrop and continue making videos. Beyond that, lots been going on. I've been back into collecting physical media, especially still books. So I've got quite a decent collection going on there. If you follow my channel, you can look under the shorts. Generally, I try to post like an initial reaction short video right after I see a movie, so you can definitely keep up with me there. I've pretty much followed along with what I've been watching there. It's just not putting in the time to make like a full review over things. I've launched a website as well where I'm trying to get back into writing, doing a little bit of writing reviews, and yeah, that's really it. And then of course Letterboxd. You can definitely follow me on Letterboxd. Don't really do much into the review space there, but you can definitely keep up with what I've been watching. So watched a ton of movies last year, and now that we're in 2024, trying to watch as much as I can still. And I did get to go to South by Southwest not too long ago. I've been to South by before. Generally, I go for the tech startup experience, but this year I went for the film experience, and it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of really cool people. I'll list everyone that I've followed below. Some of the highlights is definitely Sean Chandler and J Buck. Those are two guys that I followed on Twitter and their YouTube channels for years now. So getting the chance to meet them and have conversations with them was a big highlight for me. And I also got to see Casey Neistat. Didn't get the chance to say hello to him or talk to him, but we did sit in the movie theater and watch a movie together, which was pretty cool. And he recently posted a video around it, so I'll link that below as well. But I wanted to kind of get back into the groove of things, so I'm going to talk about what I watched at South by Southwest 2024, and let's just dive right into it. Before I get into the movies that I watched, not so much an honorable mention, but I try to get there a day early, and I did go watch Imaginary, which is the latest Blumhouse movie, before South by kicked off. So I'm not really including that in the list, but all in all, I think I watched like 15 to 16 movies, if you want to include that one, from South by. But let's go into what I did watch at South by. So all of these were the basically world premiere theater experiences from South by, and I did get access to watch some of these online through like a virtual screening thing, and so I'll make a note of that as well. But I'm going to go through these in order as I watch them. Later on, I'm going to do a ranking video of everything that I watched, and some of these I'll definitely put out solo reviews for as well. But to kick things off at South by, I did get to see the new Roadhouse. This one starring Conor McGregor, Jake Gyllenhaal, launching on Amazon Prime. I'm pretty sure as of today, you can now watch this on Amazon Prime. Lot of story around this movie and the non-theatrical release. That was the whole point of Casey Neistat's video. Seeing him there, this is the movie that I got to see Casey Neistat at. Seeing him there at that theater, I figured he was going to make a video around this because I think that's the only place anyone saw him. He was gone after that. But yeah, like there's a lot of story behind this one. But this is such a fun movie. This is a movie you want to see at a movie theater with all of your friends, because this is just a like party movie. I mean, this is about being in a bar and bar fights. There's so much action. This is a remake from the Patrick Swayze movie. I did watch that for the first time on my flight to South by. I'd never seen it, surprisingly. But yeah, like, you know, you can definitely compare the two. There is a pretty big difference, but all in all, Roadhouse, fun watch, fun to watch with a lot of friends. Definitely see it if you're gonna watch this, I guess, at home now. Get all your buddies and just have a good time, because like it's definitely an entertaining watch. The next movie I saw was I Don't Understand You. Really like this one as well. I thought for such a simple movie, I mean, there's not a lot of cast in this. You're pretty much following like two main people through their journey through Italy, but this is like a dark comedy turned horror movie, and it just goes bonkers. Like, it's one of these, like, you kind of don't really know where it's going to go, and then once things start happening, it's just like it just keeps going and going and going, and you just kind of don't know where things are going to end up. But it's one I really enjoyed. One I would definitely watch again because I just loved it, because they stay in character so well, and it's actually really funny being like a dark comedy horror movie. The next one I watched the next day was a movie called Doppelgangers 3. Very interesting artsy movie. Almost, it's hard to really say what this is, because it's kind of like a documentary, but this is a movie that's kind of based around the concept of space exploration and the fact that, you know, eventually us as humans will probably have to leave Earth and colonize somewhere else. So it's a lot of interviews around people that are interested in this stuff and kind of their take on what will make that successful for us. So the ideas around it, the conversation piece, the documentary piece, I really enjoyed. It's when you get to the third act on this one, I just didn't really know what the director was wanting to do here. It gets really just different, and just felt like it was like almost a whole different movie than what we got to see through the first two acts. So it was an okay watch. I don't know if I would check it out again per se, but if you're into space exploration, any of that kind of stuff, check it out. You may find some things that you like. Next up was My Dead Friend Zoe. This was another very strong watch, very emotional watch. Really following two to three actors within this for the most part of it. Ed Harris is a big part in it. Morgan Freeman's in it. Natalie Morales, Sneaka Martin Green. Like I said, it's a very, very emotional watch. This is a movie that is meant for veterans. And man, this is one, like, leaving. Like, I sat up in the balcony to watch this one, and I'm telling you, there was probably not a set of dry eyes. Like, everyone was just tearing up, because the story here was just so well done. And I could see a lot of people really enjoying this one. I mean, it's a bit of a heavy watch and definitely touches on some very triggering subject matters, but I think it was handled very well, and I could see a lot of people liking this one. The next movie that I watched was Babes. This is one of the highlight movies for me. Maybe my favorite watch of South by. This one just got picked up as well, so should be hopefully getting a theatrical release this year. But oh my goodness, this movie was hilarious. I laughed so much. Directed by Pamela Adlon. This one is pretty much following a single woman who has that one night stand, gets pregnant, but then something happens and has to lean a lot on her best friend, who is married and just had her second child. So it's really funny, because like this movie is so heavy around, you know, just the women and their experiences through having children and their bond and their friendship. But there are plenty of lines, like especially if you're a parent Like, there's so many lines that you'll connect with. So I think this is a good movie for really just everyone. I think this is in line to be kind of like that next Bridesmaid style hit. So I hope so many people get to see this because it's hilarious, and it's definitely one I'll check out again. The next one was a movie that I was this pretty much on my anticipated list and was excited to check out. It's called Y2K. This is set in the last night of '99 through a high school party during the Y2K moment, and this is one that it's comedy, maybe horror, but I think mostly just kind of like this dark comedy, directed by Kyle Mooney. It definitely delivers on all things '90s. It's definitely one to check out. I think a lot of people will get a kick out of it because it's a fun ride. Definitely watch it with a lot of people. The next day, started my day off watching Switch Up. Wasn't anything I'd heard of super high on my list, but I had the morning free and decided to check it out. This is honestly, it's a very sweet movie. It is kind of like a classic Lifetime rom-com. I think the messaging here is really good. You can tell everyone involved in this movie is having a lot of fun. Probably low on my list. There's a lot of issues with the movie, with the script and the pacing and story, but like I said, it is a very sweet movie. It has such a great message to it. And I think a lot of people will have fun watching it. If you're just into these kind of Lifetime style rom-coms, like, you'll get a kick out of it because it is a fun watch. But me looking into all the little details, I had a lot of issues with it. But next up was one I was very intrigued about seeing. It's called We're All Gonna Die. This was a very fascinating watch. This is kind of like a road trip style movie. This is set into the future where this alien spike basically just kind of lands on Earth, and it causes a lot of weird behaviors on our planet, but we're kind of seeing the aftermath of that. So this is like a post-apocalyptic style movie, but it's really fascinating because it's set up in day-to-day life of people. They're just trying to live their normal lives, and this spike affects two particular people who are now going on this road trip to basically find their belongings that have been transported somewhere else on Earth. And it is this kind of friendship bonding movie, romantic love story that's set in such a fascinating environment. So this is one I did enjoy. It took a little bit to get into this, but once it gets going, I really, really enjoyed it. Next up was I Saw the TV Glow. This is an upcoming movie from A24. Again, another really fascinating watch. I did watch the trailer for this a couple days before going to South by. And, when it comes to A24, I'm generally a fan and always interested to see what they're putting out. This is one that I'm very curious to see how people are going to react to it. There's a lot going on in this movie. I'll probably do a standalone review for this one. There's aspects of it I could relate to from my childhood, but yeah, it's just a different watch. Like, it's something like I get it from a personal story level, but the initial reaction of the people around me was basically like, what did we just watch? A lot of people just couldn't figure out like what this movie was, and it is a very unique movie. So curious to see what everyone's going to think about it. Next up was a movie called We Were Dangerous. Another really interesting movie from I believe this was like a first time feature film from this director. Set in New Zealand, so this is set back in 1954, following two young women, really three young women. It follows two primarily, but another one gets introduced here. But they're basically in an institution for delinquent girls, set on an island, and now they're trying to figure out how to get away from this. Pretty solid watch. I would say like the villain of this story was pretty strong character. Definitely can connect this to like see some inspiration from other movies. But I think what was great to learn about is the majority of the girls in this movie are all first time actors. So bravo to them. Again, really solid watch. The cinematography in this one was really fantastic. Next up was Magpie. This is the new movie from Daisy Ridley, directed by Sam Yates. This is one that was kind of on my radar to watch. It's one I wanted a little bit more from because it's this slow burn psychological thriller, and these are movies I typically enjoy. This one I struggled with quite a bit, though I will say, like, for me, like, and I think most people there, the ending does kind of pay off for all of that, but it's one I may revisit one more time just to see if my viewpoint changes on it. But it's pretty good watch. So if you're into this stuff, like the psychological thriller style movies, it's one I can see a lot of people enjoying. Now the last one I saw this evening was one of the big standouts. This was Monkey Man. This one's coming out pretty soon, directed by Dev Patel. Most people know Dev Patel from all of his other work. And oh my goodness, this one was a standout for sure. For all the movies that I watched, this is the only one that got a standing ovation. Though I've heard like some other movies got standing ovations. One in particular was Sing Sing that I wanted to check out but missed out on. But Monkey Man was such a fun watch. Do have some issues with it. I'll put out a review soon for this one. But if you love action movies, you're going to love Monkey Man, because this is basically his love letter to all action movies. And it's a blast. It's a very entertaining watch, though, you know, I've got some issues with it that I'll get into. But Monkey Man was definitely another highlight up there and one of my favorite watches at South by. And then going into the next set of movies, this was my last day at South by. I was hoping to check out The Fall Guy and Immaculate, but the way South by works, you have to try to get these express passes, which more or less guarantees that you can get a seat in. But their site kept crashing on everyone, and the last day I was not able to get any passes. So I waited in line. Just didn't work out in my favor, so I decided to use my time and catch a couple of other movies. So the first one I saw was a movie called Dickweed. This movie is pretty much a documentary, and surprisingly, this is like something that actually happened. It follows two people that got kidnapped. One person happened to get mutilated. The title can kind of tell you. Basically, it was like a heist gone wrong, and it goes even into the criminal behind this and how twisted he is, even escaping prison. It's pretty wild, and this is actually going to be on AMC Plus, I believe. AMC Plus is doing this kind of series, so though I got to see the movie version of this, it's going to be split up into a couple of episodes. So if you have AMC Plus, you can check this out. It's basically just one of those wild stories that actually happened, and the person decided to turn this into this movie series product. But it's wild. Like, I mean, it's something I wasn't really expecting to check out, but it was definitely it was interesting for sure. And then the last thing I watched to close out my South by was a movie called Bird Eater, directed by Jack Clark and Jim Ware. This is one I'll definitely check out again. It's a lot. It is an uncomfortable watch. It is I don't even know how to describe this thing. It is definitely like kind of like a thriller-esque movie. But it's kind of around separation anxiety, and there's like other kind of uncomfortable things that happen in it, but the way that it's kind of put together was really different. And a lot of my understanding is a lot of these actors and actresses in it are fairly new, kind of like getting their name out there. But yeah, this was this was definitely something to check out. So I'm curious to see who's going to pick this up. This is a Australian horror movie as well, I believe. But oh my goodness, yeah, this was pretty strong way to close out South by. And then I did watch one movie online. It was called Hunting Days. Another pretty different watch. Still trying to piece together how I feel about it. I would say Hunting Days almost falls similar to Bird Eater. But yeah, there's probably some similarities there. But yeah, these are movies that are definitely not for the faint of heart, for sure. But yeah, so that was my South by Southwest 2024 lineup. A lot of great watches, a lot of things. I kind of pretty much went in blind on almost all of these, not really knowing what to expect, and walked away enjoying so many of these movies, and so many that I cannot wait to watch again. So thank you so much for stopping by, checking out this channel. Expect some changes soon once I get my setup done, and a lot of these movies I want to talk about in more detail. I did go see Ghostbusters and Immaculate tonight, so got a lot of thoughts on them that I'll get videos out soon. But until then, thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to like and subscribe, or follow me on Letterboxd if you want to keep up and talk movies with me. Would love to get to talk to so many of you, get to know many of you, build a community here. So once again, thank you. Everyone have a great weekend. There's so many movies out right now, so go check them out, and let's talk more movies. See you soon.